All right, guys, we're just starting off today. No music, nothing fancy, a little bit early. I do have Hood. I have Hood down in the bottom, or the left side of the screen here and about the middle, right underneath my face. So we'll be keeping an eye on that and seeing how it goes here for earnings today. I actually expect Hood to do really good. Crypto markets might not be doing good, but I do think that the number of signups across their new credit card, yeah, everything's dropping. But I told you guys this yesterday, Diego. I said today was probably going to be a down day, and and that I would actually wouldn't hate it if we saw a downward consolidation, and that's what we're seeing. Anyway, Hood should be reporting right after the bell, so we're looking for that. I need to reset this view counter. Man, sometimes the tools one uses can be a real pain in the ass. I think think I might have fixed my internet, and maybe it wasn't my other internet provider. Don't tell anybody. But we'll see. We'll see if it actually works. I noticed that when I got switched over from the other internet provider, the way they have it connected between my router and my switches was a little weird, and maybe slowing the connection or causing lost packets. So I used to have an IT background, so hopefully I'm fixing this. All right, let's see what else we got. Hey, Jesse, great session on political. Love your point of views and realization of what this world will become if we don't take control of our destinies and those of others. Gotta vote Trump. Yeah, I don't want to get too political in the stream, but you know my take. I definitely feel that way. If you love, right now it's a war between capitalism and socialism. If you don't understand socialism, maybe you vote for it. If you look throughout history, if you even look at what happened in Bangladesh and the genocide occurring there now from their socialist dictatorship, trying to switch to meritocracy more. Everything's funded by the government, but they wanted to switch to where people get paid more based on their merit. They did that for a while, and then they tried to revert back to socialism, communism, where it was distributed more equitably instead of by people's effort. And that caused the overthrowing of their government and the murdering of them. And now they're murdering Hindus, the minority in the country. Anywhere from 8 to 10 million people, roughly, from what I've gathered. And that didn't turn out well for socialism. And then you have Venezuela. It used to be the richest country in South America. And that didn't turn out well. And then you have Argentina that was socialist for almost 100 years. They were supposed to be the next United States of America and maybe even surpass us. And that didn't turn out well. But now that they're getting away from socialism, they're starting to recover. So yes, I am very much a capitalist. I believe in free market capitalism. I believe that you let markets play out and that the incentive to make money is a good thing, because in order to make money, you have to provide good products and services to customers. And if you can't get the most innovative, if you can't get the lowest cost, the best mix of quality, if you can't do these things well, then the market tells you you suck at your fucking job. And then you lose your fucking job, and then somebody else takes it. There's a reason why years ago, when I bought a 27-inch TV that was just a little piece of shit LCD back in the day, it was one of the first ones they had at Best Buy, it cost me $4,000. How much does it cost to get a 65-inch TV now? A fraction of that. What do you think brought that to us? Do you think it was communism? Do you think it was socialism? No, it was meritocracy. It was where people work based on incentives to make their life better. And all we should do is not get in the fucking way of giving them the opportunity to do this and help them start with the right tools. And where they end up is on them. Sorry, little political. Fuck it, I don't care. All right. Let's start off. Let's look at economic data. Lots going on in the markets today. I told you guys yesterday that Hood's popping. Hood's popping. Let's take a look here. Let's see what happens on that. Like I said, I think Hood is going to do well. Crypto might be down, but the trading isn't. And these guys got a new card, and they're working well on their platform. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they pop. Even this pattern looks good. This is a very Palantir looking pattern right now that we got on this. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we could bust up and maybe even push 20. Wouldn't surprise me at all. So we'll see what plays out here as the earnings start to unfold for Robinhood. But not surprised. Very proud of them. Hope this continues. Hopefully we don't get an initial pump and then all of a sudden people dig through the details and see something bad. But anyway, back to economic data. So I do want to point out a few things right now, and then we'll start looking at indices, and then we'll get into Bitcoin and Tesla and all the other stuff and looking at stocks. If you're new here, that's what we do. If you have a paid membership, even as low as $2 a month, you can ask to have stocks looked at. I will look at them. You can also comment, which you can't do if you don't have the $2. But otherwise, this is free for everybody. Everything I do is free. But if you want the ability to be able to talk in the group just to get rid of the bullshit, and or the ability to look up stocks, you got to pay $2. It's $2 fucking dollars. Get over it. Anyway, MBA 30-year mortgage rate. So this is very interesting. Yeah, give Hood time and the earnings. Call by Vlad the Impaler. yeah, no shit. What are you buying at the moment? If anything, nothing right now. I'm just sitting back. I already did my buying. I'm still up from the buying for some of the buying that I did Friday, and then definitely from the buying I did yesterday. Was yesterday, I think. Maybe it was the day before. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, back to my point. The 30-year mortgage rate is dropping. It's dropping pretty precipitously, which is good. It's down to 6.55%. We could be dropping under 6% in September. By September, by the time we hit that rate, we could be dropping into the under the 6% range and be in the 5s. Think about how quickly that's happening. Mad wick on Tesla. Okay. Well, let's see. There's probably a mad wick on a lot of things. Yeah, it dropped 4.4%, but that's about right. It's about the trading range. I mean, look at this. We hit the 200. We tested up against it 3 times on the daily. We broke down. We're testing the 100 moving average. This is where we start to see volume level support. Could we break down? Fuck. Anything can happen, man. Could we go down to here at the 147 to close this gap one final time? Maybe. I mean, it can happen. It all depends on the macro. But I'll just use that as a buying opportunity. So I actually kind of hope that happens. All right, back to macro. What are the odds on the carry trade 2.0 from Japan? It wouldn't be carry trade 2.0. It would just be that the carry trade would continue to unwind. Some people say that it's about 50 to 60% unwound. So I don't know. We'll see. But back to economic data. And we can look. The VIX and how the yen is trading against the US dollar are going to be 2 items we check out in a second. So we'll be looking at that. Those are going to be great indicators along with high yield, debt, junk bonds, basically. These will be good indicators to see if we're rolling over. But yeah, so 6.55% is a lot lower than 7.7. So we've already dropped, 1.05% on the rates. So this is good. This is good mortgage rates. And so the Fed has basically the bond market doing a lot of work for them right now without even lowering rates, which I think is actually a positive because it gives them more ammo to lower rates and have it perform later. Anyway, mortgage applications. So on a good note, we're actually seeing a little bit of an uptick. And again, this is value. This is like a percentage level change. But an increase to 6.9% is a good one. The previous one was negative 3.9, but it oscillates from month to month. I still think this is the direction we're headed, though, and I'm happy to see it. Mortgage market index, highest read outside of January 19th of 2024. We're up 5% on Hood now. Let's see what happens there. And if we go back further, again, this is one of the highest reads we've seen really since June of 2023. So the mortgage market looks like it's starting to get some life back into it. And that will be beneficial for the economy. Let's see about mortgage refinancing. Whoa. In the last year, we hit our highest level by far. Let's go back further. We hit our highest level going back to August of 2022. People are desperate to refinance at lower rates, even if it's 1% down. So pay attention to this stuff, guys. Robinhood now down 0.29%. Volatility. Yay. All right, let's keep going. So again, the mortgage index, the refinance index, the mortgage rate, applications, all heading in the right direction. This is good stuff. Let's check out used car prices. Oh, hey, they're falling. Who knew? They're still in the red. Look at how long they've been decreasing. They've been decreasing since September of 2022. The used car market has cars everywhere. Everywhere. The car industry is suffering dramatic amounts of pain. The money printer will have to come for them again. Robinhood down 6%. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe guidance is getting rough. We'll have to see. We'll look towards Amit. He's doing a channel on that, so we'll be able to see more from him. But yeah, so I worry about the auto sector. I worry less about Tesla because they pivoted at the right time to focus on full self-driving, and it's phenomenal right now. There's some numbers we're going to look at that in a second, but I'm way less worried about Tesla right now because even their used cars could go up in value if FSD gets as good as I think it is right now. And we'll know soon. About 3/4 of the fleet is still waiting for the latest 12.5, whatever versions. So we'll be getting those soon. So it should be interesting. But yeah, used car market suffering immensely, has been for a while. Not good at all. Consumer credit change. Let's take a look here. Actually, this and total debt are two things that I need to make sure I analyze in greater depth. I'm going to make a note real quick here. Let me just move something around. Total debt, consumer credit change, because there's more data points that go with outside of these broader numbers that I want to dig into. So let's see where we're sitting on consumer credit. We got for this month 8.93 billion. Consensus was 10. Forecast was 11. So the amount of consumer credit debt being taken out seems to be lower. It says following an upwardly revised 13.9 increase in the prior month. So that's a pretty big increase. It was only 11.35. So previous month revised higher, this month lower. Increase in the prior month and below market expectations of 10 billion. Revolving credit and including credit cards fell by nearly 1.7 billion. I'm actually okay with revolving credit and credit cards going down, guys. I don't want there to be large amounts of credit card debt and revolving credit. Marking the largest drop since early of 2021. Meanwhile, non-revolving credit, such as loans, cars, and education, climbed. That's probably going to happen too. People are going to refinance, lower their credit cards. They're going to get rid of these high 20, 30% interest rates, and especially if they've got a balance transfer that's rolled over, and they're instead going to take a loan out and try and lock in a lower rate, closer to 6% or something like that, that saves them money. So this is how the poor, middle class, I mean, heck, even the rich will play around with some of these numbers in order to be able to get it to where they can get rid of the more dangerous credit card debt and revolving lines of credit. So this isn't too crazy. Meanwhile, the non-revolving, such as loans, climbed by 10.6 and the highest in a year. Despite the decrease in revolving credit, Americans have increasingly turned to credit cards and other financing options to maintain spending as wage growth slows. Pandemic savings dwindle. And see, this is like this from the Federal Reserve is like, hey, credit card debt's down, but people are all turning to their credit cards in order to be able to pay their bills. It's kind of interesting with credit being down so much. I made it today. Let's fucking go. All right, Jesus, what's up, buddy? C-list, let's go to 147 options. I would buy. Dude, I would love it. So today, did PayPal actually end up? Let's take a look before we jump into the broader stuff. Oh, so it did end up flat on the day. I was going to say, I thought the markets were kind of taking a shit at the end of the day. But here's the great thing. PayPal is actually stable. Nothing else is stable. Let's look at the heat map. So again, Apple doing okay, Amazon doing okay, but a large sea of red, especially on Tesla today. If any of you know why Tesla's down so much today, outside of the technical map, let me know. I just think it's technicals. I think it's just chopping in this range. That's all I see. But if you guys see something different, please let me know. But yeah, otherwise, a decent sea of red. And chips weren't having a lot of love. ABGO getting smacked. A lot of chips getting smacked today. So not a good day for them. Let's look over at crypto. Ooh, it's going to get worse. Not a good day for crypto, except for Solana, which is good. I actually think Solana is kind of a leading indicator. I want to, it's really high vol. Its chart looks beautiful, and it's maintaining a ton of strength. Look at this. Just grinding up against these other previous levels. Still looks incredibly strong. Hella bounce compared to some of the other cryptos out there, even Bitcoin. So it's kind of phenomenal. Let me look at Bitcoin real quick, and then we'll jump into indices. So Bitcoin looks choppy, guys. I've said this for a while. This is not a bad pattern. Grinding in this range, going to 52. Grinding in this range for a week, 2 weeks. I don't even care. It'll just mean a bullish tick higher. I don't hate this at all. I'm perfectly okay with grinding in Bitcoin. I hope Tesla and Bitcoin go down. I just want PayPal to go up too. If that would, and I think RG, how did we do? I'll check this real quick and then we'll get back to economics. So RG took a hit today, but again, so many things did. I saw a lot of stuff bleeding. Let's just quickly dial through all these different ones. So Hood, we don't have to dial through. It's kind of flat. We'll see what happens with earnings. SoFi started off really great in the day, down almost 2%. Square, up 1.4%. This thing's bled out so much, though, over a period of time. We were at 87 not too long ago. When was that? March. So it being in the 58 range says a lot. This thing's taken a beating. It definitely has room to bounce. Palantir, that did really good the other day, down 1%. So even Palantir is suffering a little bit here. We'll see if it can hold its strength. And that's about it. Miners, bloody hell, miners. So everything with leverage is getting crushed today. MicroStrategy, down 9%. Absolutely smacked. Mara, down 8%. Absolutely smacked. From a technical level, again, it can grind here for a while. CleanSpark, absolutely smacked. Down almost 10%. Let's look here. Cypher, down 2.27. So Cypher is actually stabilizing. But again, it's at a trend line that it's been at on and off since July of 2023, a year. And then going back even further when it first dipped under was December of 2021. So CleanSpark's still grinding in the same area. But yeah, it's showing a little bit of bounce just because it's been crushed so much. All right, let's look at the S&P. S&P down 0.77%, still above the 0.5. Again, I could see some grinding here. Some people will tell you it's a dead cat bounce. I actually don't think that's true. I think we're just sifting through the bullshit. We're trying to make sure Iran doesn't have a real attack against Israel. We're hoping that things in Bangladesh and Venezuela calm down a little bit. I think, and this is actually a thesis of mine that could be totally wrong, but I'm looking at it. I got to actually draw some charts that show it. Since Kamala Harris started to trend up in the polls, the stock market and Bitcoin has taken a massive shit. So that Trump bump that we were hoping for, it did have a little bit of a bump, and we went up, like Bitcoin went up 25% heading into it, right? Heading into Trump getting ready to do this Bitcoin speech. So we definitely had the Trump bump heading into it, and then it even grinded for a little bit afterwards. But ever since the polls have started to show Kamala, ever since she kind of got the reins, the markets are completely and utterly unhappy. And I think that part of that, again, and some of that is very technical. It's the Japanese carry trade unwinding, right? Like that could be medieval. But yeah, I think not so much Bidenomics. I think it's Harris potentially, Kamala Harris potentially getting voted in. And then her running mate is a complete and utter socialist who today said we need to rethink the First Amendment because we should understand, like we shouldn't let people spread misinformation, which is just another way of saying the government should have control over what people say in the public square. And that's a frightening fucking concept. So think about it. If you're a free market, if you're Bitcoin, if you're the stock market, how are you going to perform when you think socialists are coming into power and they're anti-capitalist? Are you going to perform well? So my thesis, and again, this is just my thesis. Don't hate me for it, okay? Or hate me. I don't give a shit. But I think heading into the Democratic convention, and again, I don't want to get too political, but I think heading into the Democratic convention, there will continue to be an uptick in polls for Kamala Harris. It looks really good in polls right now, right? So I think that continues. And if we look over here, we can see it. So we can see where Biden withdrew, and then they immediately gave a huge bump to Harris, which I think is actually organic and true, right? Because she's not Biden. Biden was literally asleep on the stage. And her polls are going up because she hasn't said anything or done anything. And all people are looking at, especially people that are like potentially in the center or on the left, is all the stuff coming from mainstream media. And they haven't had to hear her talk. They've all seen scripted shit. That's it, right? Like they haven't seen the craziness that is Kamala Harris. So she's looking really good. She's looking strong in these overall general polls, which she should win with a popular vote. That's not surprising. And let's see, how was Biden around the same day? This day in history, August 7th, 2020, Biden was up by 6.4 points. Hillary Clinton was up by 7. Kamala Harris is up by 0.5. So don't get it twisted. She ain't winning yet, guys. I see a lot of people, cheering on the Democratic side because they think she's got it, even though she hasn't done anything. And her website doesn't have any of her platform on it or anything, just ask for money. And then I see Republicans also getting concerned because they think she's going to win. Dude, Biden was up by 6.4, 6 points more. Hillary Clinton was up by 6.5. I honestly have to say, I think Hillary Clinton is way smarter than Kamala Harris. All right, I'm done. I said I wasn't going to do this, and I do. But I think she was way smarter. She's a way smarter person. Anyway, S&P down 0.77, still holding on to the .5. Love it. I don't hate that. That's fine. NASDAQ took a greater beating. Dropped underneath key volume support here, underneath the .618. Couldn't hold it. Trending down towards the 200 moving average on the daily. We don't want it to stay under that for long. You know why? Because we haven't stayed under that for long since January of 2023. So we would prefer to stay above it. So this is definitely something to watch. We want to get back above this moving average. And with the S&P, if we look at the daily on this one, let's see how we're looking too. We should apples to apples. Again, we don't want to get underneath this one either. But we're also super oversold. A lot of movement in a short period of time while we rebalance here. But you can see where we were below with this before around the same time frame, the end of 2022, early 2023. So we need some more bouncing, but it's also not crazy to grind around these levels for a few days. How to protect Jesse? He takes too good care of us. I appreciate that, man. I try to. I hope I'm doing right by all you guys. That's my goal. All right. So again, 200 moving average. The Russell looks weaker on this because it just didn't climb as high as the S&P or the NASDAQ, right? So it doesn't have as much of a buffer underneath of it. But we'll see what happens in the coming days. So 1.41 down on the Russell, NASDAQ 1.16, and the S&P 0.77. So again, small caps, that narrative about them outperforming, at least for now, is not there. We'll see if it picks up again in the future. I still think it will. But I don't know. I think the election is going to play a huge part in all of this. It's going to be a crazy next 3 months, guys. If you don't realize that, it's going to be fucking nuts. All right. Have to protect Jesse. Yeah, okay. Political GoFundMes are killing me. Political GoFundMe. I know, dude. Dude, I'm just going to show this real quick. Just for the people that didn't catch my video earlier. I want you to see Kamala Harris's website. Here it is. We want your money. We want your email so you can give us money. I want to click on the store. Okay, buy some shit. Okay, but I don't want the store. I want Kamala. What's Kamala about? What's Kamala about? What's this take action thing? What does this mean? Oh, you want my information so you can get money. Okay. All right, so not that. Let me go back. Let's see. What's Kamala about? She's about 2 pages. She's about 2 pages. This is just talking about her. All the talking points that make Kamala great. Meet Tim Waltz. Okay, Tim's not even 2 pages, Tim. Oh, but he's pushing the dangerous Project 2025 initiative, something that Trump has wholehandedly said that he is against, and that is a far-right radical claim that he will not do that. Just like there's the far left out there. He's like, this is the far right. Thank you, RJ, for giving memberships, dude. I appreciate you, brother. But this is the same shit they're pushing, and I'm not going to go into talking about Tim. You guys need to watch my other fucking video. It's disgusting what this man believes in and the things that he's done to this country already as the governor of Minnesota. The things he did to Minneapolis, a city I love and have been to numerous times in my life. So I'll leave it there. Sorry, I'm really struggling to keep these things separate. The dollar. The dollar up today. More importantly, if we look at the yen, let's see what happened with the yen. The yen so the dollar against the yen gained a lot of strength. This is what we don't want to see, right? So this is probably the cause of some of the weakness. We have swap lines that have been opened up between the U.S. and Japan. We know Japan probably sold some U.S. treasuries. I know Upstart's up 40% today. It's ridiculous. We'll look at that chart. Lots of short interest in it. I think that helps a lot. If we look over here at Upstart, let's just take a look. What is it? And I don't even know if it's updated yet for short interest. Let's just take a look. Short interest. So still sitting at 32%. So when this thing pops, there's a reason for it. It's because, 30% of float is fucking shorted. So it ends up burying the people that are on the other side of that trade. Robinhood up 1% on the day. Looking good. The awful Upstart is up 40%. I know, it's a shitty... I don't like Upstart. Let's just look here. Let's look at the rest of the company, okay? So... here's the rest of the company. Haven't made any money since Q1 of 2022. Debt doesn't look great. Definitely share dilution. Again, with Upstart, you can make an assertion that they've been hurt by what's happened with higher rates. Totally cool. I get it. That's probably true. And maybe people are placing a longer term bet. You can see where it was neutered in 2022 and 2023. Their net income plummeted. Before rate increases existed, it looked like they stood a chance. Now, Robinhood is 3%. You got to love it. But again, there's nothing beautiful here. Forward PE of 44. I don't even know if that's recalculated with how much the stock just shot up right now. So it's not great. This Upstart doesn't look great right now, but maybe people are placing bets on real estate. We'll see. I mean, if we go back, let me just go. Where's my right here? If we look, let's look at sectors here. Retail trade, utilities, where are we at? Where are we at? Real estate. Can anybody see real estate? Is it in here? Is it divided up by this? It's probably divided up like under, it's probably divided up under finance, so it kind of sucks. If you guys see it, let me know. No, I don't see it. I think it's under one of these other categories, so I'll have to look and see what the weight of real estate has been doing. And can I do it here? Let me see. I might be able to do it here. No, so I'll try and find the numbers. I was going to try and show that and speak to real estate and maybe the fact that there's a resurgence there. XRP is mooning? Why? I know you said more cash available at the moment. No, I don't. I used it all. If you did, what would you buy? What would I buy? What would I buy right now? Tesla, Bitcoin-related investments, especially miners today. Down 10% on the day. CleanSpark isn't going away. It is the second largest hash miner in the world. So to me, it's a great bet, and that's something that I would be putting my money towards. All right, so we got through indices. Let's look at oil. How's oil doing today? Oil, we're seeing a spike, probably just because of concerns about what's happening in the world and whether or not Iran's going to attack. That's pretty much normal. The MOVE index probably climbing even higher. Nope, down a little bit today, but it did climb up a little bit. So we're seeing, again, the MOVE index. We don't want to see a lot of bond volatility. We want to see it slow down. Today, the 2-year, again, it's still kind of in a little bounce mode, but I think it's going to roll over. Hopefully that doesn't bring the stock market down too. The 2 to 10-year inversion is getting dangerously close to uninverting again, which is probably another reason why you're seeing the market start to tank. They're worried that this signal is going to trip. And if the signal trips, and we start to see this thing uninverting, then it gives us a clock for a normal time frame where a session starts to reoccur. So we want to see this uninverting again and starting to drop down. I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see in the days ahead. Unclear whether Upstart has any proprietary AI tech. Yeah, me too. I don't know if they actually have anything of value. And again, they might start to do better when the real estate market opens up. That's kind of like my Matterport play that did have proprietary tech before they were bought out. But again, it's one of those things where I do think real estate's going to come alive. Maybe we should start looking at more real estate opportunities because some of that is coming up. I see the Adrian XRP up 17%. I wonder what happened there. It's probably some bullshit. If any of you guys get some time, look on X for XRP, see if you see any real news. Otherwise, it could just be trading. If we look here, let's look at the day. Yeah, XRP up 21%, but so is WIF, cute little fucking puppy. Up 15%. So the crypto market is still kind of in gambling phase, and in the last hour has done really well. And started to bounce, but these are so hard to judge. There's probably some stupid news about XRP that got people excited, but XRP is just a dead coin in my opinion. Not worth putting a lot of time into. All right, I think that's it for indices and stuff. Let's go over. We're going to look at economic data. We already looked at the economic data from today, but let's see what Seth, Bar Chart, a bunch of others are saying about economic data right now. Don't banks use some? But again, there's just no reason. Like the banks can just do their own thing. They don't need XRP. And again, the banker's coin isn't a good selling point to me since the entire fiat system is built on a house of cards and a giant Ponzi scheme. So I don't know. I don't really love the concept of XRP. All right, so Seth Golden said, after BIX spiked to 45, then crosses below 30 like yesterday, has always proven a buying opportunity since 1990. Can there be more downside before the uptrend is renewed? Yes. Nonetheless, you've always been rewarded before buying this signal. So again, we're going back to the 90s, beginning of the 90s. We're looking at a time frame of 35 years, and it's always been a buy signal. And I believe he's right. Maytag, final ruling in the SEC versus Ripple has been issued by Judge Torres. Ripple must pay $125 million to the SEC, is officially not a security. That's fucking cool. That's why crypto's bouncing. Thank you, Maytag. That's why we're seeing in the last hour, guys. That's the pump. Let's see how Bitcoin's doing. Thank you, Maytag. I really appreciate that. You're paying me $2 or more a month to do my work for me. You're a good man. The Maytag, man. All right, BTC. BTC, it's not really seeing the bounce. So it's more shitcoins than anything that seem to be benefiting from this over the short term. Let's see. That's probably why Solana and I would guess Ethereum are taking a bounce too. Let's see. Well, you know what though? Ethereum, it's probably the lesser shitcoins because some of these have already kind of been deemed not securities. So yeah, so Ethereum isn't benefiting from this, but others that haven't had clear guidance are probably going to be looking at that XRP ruling and saying that's what we're going to have too. This is us. So that kind of makes sense. That shittier coins are benefiting from this ruling. So that's cool, man. Thank you. Let me just get in here. I'm going to post real quickly. I'm going to post, grab this and just get it out to the world so other people know it too. I'm not a fan of XRP, but hey, cool stuff. All right. So again, what he's telling you here is this is a good time to buy. We might trade down for a few days. This is the same message you're getting from me. Bar chart. Japanese stocks from a bullish Harami signal indicating that a bottom may have formed. The same pattern emerged after the 2011 Fukushima nuclear meltdown, and stocks went on to gain over 10% in the next month. Again, just another signal, right? And then Will Clementi, good analyst, young dude, said governments always backstop after 2008. I 100% agree with this statement. The markets are not free. The government has to prop up the market. If they don't, the entire financial system of the fucking world collapses. If you don't understand this concept, learn it. So this is why I was saying, don't worry, the US government is going to work with the Bank of Japan and try and address this. And I think they're doing that with swap lines and controlled selling of treasuries. They're just trying to do things in order to be able to make it to where it's not devastating. Douglas Bonepar said, according to the VIX, the worst markets events of our lives were 2008, COVID, and Bank of Japan raising interest rates by 1/4 percentage point. Wrap your fucking head around that. If that doesn't tell you how fragile our financial system is, I don't know what does. The Silicon Valley bank disaster, all of the banks collapsing a year and a half ago didn't even fucking come close to what happened last week and the beginning of this week. Remember that, okay? Remember that. Is there a bullish scenario, though? Let me see. You moved around. Where'd you go? Things are moving on me. Oh, you retracted it. Damn you, MB. I'm just going to read it. All right. Moving on. Let me know when you finalize your thought. Bar chart. 3.3 million S&P 500 put options traded on Monday. A new all-time record. People are trying to short this fucking market, and they're trying to hedge against it. That could be rocket fuel for further upside, but it takes a while. So we can see how puts were starting to come up. Put-call ratio still isn't crazy, but we can see how the market is starting to push itself in a direction of loading up with short positions so that it fires to the upside. Okay? Wow, market orders, stop losses, risk management essential. I hate stop losses, especially in crypto. Would not do that. Every time I've had a stop loss in crypto, it's just sold me out at the completely wrong level, and then the market bounces. Like the only time I would do a stop loss would probably be after making shit tons of money and using it as an exit in case the markets drop. But honestly, in the Bitcoin world, guys, it's kind of funny. When Bitcoin has dropped, and I should probably show this in a chart here in the future. When Bitcoin has dropped, I don't know, I probably don't have the best chart right now. I'll try and make it look pretty. Maybe if I get rid of some of this bullshit here and then do a longer time frame. So here's the deal. Over here, Bitcoin, the market was done, right? It dropped really hard. You could have bought down here and then waited. And once it got up to here, you could have sold out. And if you look back over here, the market topped out here, right? Dropped hard. And it's hard to see on these weekly time frames. I actually should almost zoom in a little bit more to the daily. But look at this. So we peaked. We dropped really hard over one day, like down to 10,000, almost a 40% drop, right? When we're at like a rapid increase, if we drop more than 40% in a short period of time, it's probably time to get the fuck out. But what you could have done is stayed the fuck in and then got out at 17,000 or 16,000. And so you got that 40% drop signal, right? You got that? You can just wait. You could even buy that fucking dip knowing that the cycle is over, right? Because you dropped 48%. Let's make sure I get this just right. Yeah, about 48% over a period of time, and over about within that week, and then a couple of weeks later, you were back up to 17,000. So I don't even think you have to necessarily completely get out of the market early. You just have to have the wherewithal to know that the cycle is over and that people will still speculate into it. And that same thing has happened every fucking cycle where we had a big drop. You could have bought into it. And you still could have exited at a pretty decent number and then got the fuck out. You could have saw this double top. I didn't. I won't pretend like I saw this. I did notice it over here in the 40s, and I got the fuck out with like 80% of my investment, and I saved my ass last cycle because of that. But you can do this kind of thing. You don't have to be early. You don't have to be early with Bitcoin. TMF, interest rate trade. TMF, I like TMF, but I'm fully out of it right now. I do think that it's going to be a good hedge again in the future. And let me just, I think I got to rename this. I'm just going to do it right now. I got this TNA still, but it needs to be TMF. The TMF is the leveraged fund. TNA is not the leveraged fund. But what I wanted to show you is look at what it's done. Yeah, today down 2.53%. Yesterday down 6%. So I sold it like up here in the 60s, and now it's at 54.77 in after hours. So this trade will get whacked. It'll get utterly whacked. So this is one of those things where it's more of a momentum trade because it's 3x leverage. You deal with theta decay just like you would options. So make sure that when this thing is on your side and it's up like 10% in a day or 5% in a day, that you do some buying if stocks are down 20 fucking percent. Some of your favorite things, right? When you're up 5% on this one or 10% in a couple of days, but the other stuff is dropped by 20 to 40%, spend it. Spend it. You can't really hurt yourself there. That's my take. But yeah, TMF is a good one. I'll probably, if we start, once we start to get our bottom here in the next days, probably even before the week, I would imagine, then maybe it goes into next week. We'll reevaluate as time goes on. But then I would start to, if I make money on PayPal and this thing keeps going up and it looks good, it's still ready to break out. If I make money on PayPal, I will take some of that money and start edging out of it. And I will start applying that money towards my other favorite things. And some of that will be hedging with TMF, right? Some of that will be hedging with that. Some maybe just a little bit of straight up cash. Honestly, I'll probably just use TMF as that if it keeps going down the way it is. And then I'll be buying Tesla calls. I'll be buying crypto-related investments like the miners that have been just destroyed. I mean, let's just look at it here. CleanSpark has the number 2 hash rate for the world. Number 2 hash rate for the world. And right now, it is trading down what amount? 54% from its recent high in April or March. So no brainer to me. Tesla down with the announcement of Elon Trump interview coming up. It would not surprise me if it's, no, I don't think so. Nah, it doesn't care about that. Let's do something. Yeah, let's finish this up. Let's finish up all this VIX talk and then we'll move on. Because I want to get to Tesla actually, and then I want to get back to Bitcoin, and then I want to start looking at market stuff with you guys. Ryan Detrick said, "I was taught a long time ago to never use the VIX as a percentage, and to always use points. I think that's fine. I think that's smart. The VIX closed down 10 points today. Past 3 times after the flash crash in May of 2010, after U.S. debt downgrade in 2011. That's a fun one. In March of 2020, the COVID pandemic, the S&P. Oh, let me go back." The S&P a year later each time it was up an average of 27%. Okay? This is the whole buy in the panic, guys. I also put macro charts, put human nature never changes. The 1 month call to put skew, right? Here's the Lebanon crash or the Lehman crash in 2008. It was way down here and it hit this level. Look at what happened afterwards. The flash crash of 2010, up. The EU crisis, right? When the EU was falling apart, up. Ebola, up. Yuan devaluation bottom, up. Brexit, up. Vol ETF blow up bottom, up. COVID crash, up. Funds, LS funds blow up. Omicron, up. Global deleveraging carry trade, up. All of these things told you that we were going higher. And we hit it again at one of the peak fear levels that like we haven't seen since the pandemic. So I'm sticking with upside, guys. I'm sticking with it. The numbers tell me that. And I listen to numbers and facts over opinions. Polos, bro. What is Polos? Is Polos chicken? My Spanish isn't so good. Nah, it was because Jim Cramer just turned bullish on Tesla Live. Oh, that's the detriment right there. If Jim Cramer's saying good things, then we're all fucked. You got to remember, last week he was telling us everything was going to go up. What happened since? I'm just kidding. But not. Yes, Polos is chicken. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, thanks, dude. I don't know a ton of Spanish. My wife's family comes from Panama. A lot of people lately seem to think I'm a racist, but some of my best friend and sexist and everything else, but some of my best friends are gay men. I've got plenty of friends from different ethnicities. And my wife was born in Panama. So, I don't know. I guess I'm a far right racist, guys. Watch out. Watch out for me, guys. The world's largest stock markets. Oh, we looked at that the other day. So we're done. We're done with this segment. Let's move on. And I want to jump straight into Tesla, actually, because I want to talk to Tesla since it's having a down day. I want to speak to it. So first off, I don't want to get super political. I'm not trying to avoid it. But I do want to talk about the fact that the Rumble CEO, and we're going to listen to him here in a second, the Rumble CEO is fighting GARM and the World Federation of Advertisers, who have created a monopoly over all major ad budgets for all these companies so that they can boycott things like Rumble and X on behalf of the people paying for the advertising dollars. Elon is fucking throwing down, man. He's throwing down. He's going to war. He already declared that, and this Rumble CEO is too. And I want to listen to him real quick. And this does apply. This does apply to Tesla because this is Elon, and everything Elon does applies to Tesla. If you don't know that by now, it's his only publicly traded company. So people manipulate the stock price based on their thoughts of Elon as a whole. So let's listen.
Simplest way to put it, if you're an advertiser and you don't want to advertise on Rumble or X, that's totally fine. You have the option to do that. But the problem happens when you have a consortium or a group like the World Federation of Advertisers, or in their group that they created called GARM, which then assembles all these advertisers and agencies, which creates a huge amount of power for these for GARM to basically instruct these companies on whether or not and how they want to deploy brand safety standards. So what happens here is once you have a huge consortium that creates a monopoly across all the big ad budgets that dictate a brand safety standard, they then can now discriminate against certain voices on other platforms. If they don't like what some speech might happen on Rumble or X, they can say, we're not going to touch that, which then causes advertising rates to go higher because now they're only accessing a certain portion of the market, and then drives higher prices for their shareholders and their brands. This harms the advertisers, the shareholders. It creates higher fees for the agencies, and also
basically this is more DEI type crap where they're trying to control the agenda, right? They're trying to take social media companies like Rumble and X, and they're trying to say, you have to comply to what we tell you to do. Censor the shit we want you to censor. If you don't do that, then we'll prevent you from receiving advertising dollars. And here's the thing, I would argue this actually. I actually think Mark Zuckerberg is becoming a cooler person who doesn't want to necessarily censor the right wing. I don't think he wants to do that. But here's the thing. I think he still follows the money. And because of this bullshit GARM and the World Federation of Advertisers, if he doesn't comply with the shit they tell him he has to do, if he doesn't censor the stuff they tell him he has to censor, then they won't advertise on their network, right? And so don't get me wrong, I don't love Mark Zuckerberg in any means. But I'm just saying a lawsuit won by Rumble and X against this bullshit will help our entire country because it'll make it to where these social media platforms don't have to be the censoring arm for the government. Some of them will still continue to be, but it will open up the market and make it to where they don't have to worry about their ad revenue dollars being stolen from them if they don't. So these guys are fighting for freedom of speech right now for America. This Rumble CEO and Linda Yaccarino. So if you believe in freedom of speech, the First Amendment, if you believe in that kind of stuff, you want to be excited about this. And this will benefit Tesla and every one of Elon's companies. Let's move on. Sawyer Merritt pointed out that Tesla revealed that in Q2 of 2024, they recorded one crash every 6.88 million miles driven in which drivers were using autopilot technology. Their best quarter or Q2 number ever for drivers who are not using autopilot technology. Tesla recorded one crash every 1.45 million miles driven. For comparison, the most recent data available from the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration and the FHW, I don't remember theirs, some federal bullshit, from 2022 shows that that in the US there was an automobile crash approximately every 670,000 miles. So right now, Tesla is 10x better than the average crash rate. Look at this. Look at this. And it just keeps getting better. Look at this down here in Q1 of 2023. And then look at it here. It keeps getting better, guys. And this is only going to get better. We don't even have 12.55 out yet, okay? We don't even have 12.55 out yet. Maytag, Jesse, what are your thoughts on the next time to back up the truck on buying June 2020? Man, I would be doing it now if I had something I was willing to sell or had the capital. So I would be doing it now, honestly. But I wouldn't throw it all in. You don't need to rush. There's no rush here, right? This is a 2-year fucking contract for it to get to $330. So you could take your time and be cautious and nibble. That's what I would do. And I would nibble all the way down. Let me just get back to Tesla here on the chart. If we break the 100, we could go to 180. I would nibble, right? Look at this peak volume over this time frame, right? I would nibble. If we dropped underneath of that, if we close this gap, I would just fucking throw it in. I'm not even kidding. I will sell all lower conviction bets at 147. All of them. I'll just dump them. Not even joking. So, and then look at this. Just to get back to the recent highs here, there's a 42% upside, and those calls will do really good. I am super glad. I should have vocalized more for people to take profits on those Tesla calls. I took profits. I took like 28, 30% or whatever my of what I put in. All of my original contribution I took out already, right? And I was able to apply that capital elsewhere, including things like TMF, where I made a little bit of money off of that, and then I was able to apply that capital elsewhere. I wish more people would do that on the way up when you have this massive surge and you're up 300, 400% on a stock. I would take some profits on an option. Leap or stock at 147? I'm totally going leaps, but that's up to you, man. It's all about your risk profile. You need to watch my Options 101 video. Make sure you understand options. They can fucking wreck you. But when used at the appropriate times, like when a company is off from its all-time high. Let's see, how long has it been? Let's see, let's get us over here. Over 1,000 days since its all-time high, and it's still very much depressed. It's 50% off that all-time high. Actually, more than 50%, 53% off from its all-time high. And at the 147 level, it would be down 64% from its all-time high 3 years ago. I would buy the shit out of that. I would buy the shit out of that. All right, let me see here. You posted on X with screenshots when you took profits. There was no mystery. Yeah, dude. But you know, it's one of those things where it's just hard because, especially people that are newer to this, they're like, "Oh, dude, why would you take profits? It's up 30% today. It's up 50% today." It's like that's why I took profits, because of that. You want to get some of your original cost basis out, so you remove your risk, right? And then you can diversify. So yeah, it's just I got to do a better job explaining that stuff for people that are newer, because I don't want people to get hurt, man. I don't like to see people lose money. I don't. Chicken Bro. I managed to sell some MicroStrategy up and using those to buy Tesla calls under 200. It's a must. I agree, man. That sounds smart. Justin, 10 to 20 year price target on Tesla. Fuck. I don't know. 2030. 10x? $6 trillion? Maybe more. At least 10x. And then if you're holding options, and we go up like 200% in the next couple of years, you can make 1,000% if you got the right stuff, like what I have. But I expect huge numbers from Tesla. You got to think the robot's going to be out, autonomy is going to be in full bore. They're going to have 2 new vehicles also being out there. The Cybertruck, the Semi, the Roadster are all going to be ramped, and we're going to have the energy division ramped. It's going to be fucking insane, man. Just by 2030, it's going to be insane. I can't tell you in 10 to 20 years because I don't know what money means anymore in 20 years. I don't know what money means. In a world where we could have 1 billion robots working for us, I don't know what money means anymore. So shit's going to get weird after that time frame, man. That's too far out for me to be able to predict. Westman, or let me see. Wait, I missed a few. Patrick Picasso, I should have done that with my in the money calls. Didn't sell on the way up. Now negative. Listen to Jesse. Yeah, dude, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear it, bro. It's just so easy to get excited by the numbers. That's why I just strategically sell on the way up. Just nibble in the beginning, and then once we hit really big targets, take a little bigger chunk and just keep taking it. Just keep taking it and building up that money. I still wish if I would have taken 50%. And then I would have kept that in cash or put it in TMF. Fuck, I would have done so much better. I'd be sick right now. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Like we can always, but it's good to go back, evaluate, and think about these things, right? Like what can I do better? You should be thinking about that all the time. Some people do journals. I kind of do mentally. I used to do it on paper. It's just too much work. Wes Mann, if you were poor and only had 4K in Bitcoin, would you sell BTC and buy CleanSpark at these levels? CleanSpark feels like it can double from 4K faster than BTC will. That is a very personal question. It ties in with a lot of stuff in your life that I know nothing about. And again, not a financial advisor, all that shit, right? So that out of the way, at this stage, with CleanSpark down, and maybe I divvy it up to limit my risk. Maybe I do a CleanSpark and a Cypher, right? Just to reduce some of the risk. That way, worst case, you get Bitcoin-like or better returns. But I think this is a crazy good level, man. Again, like what is CleanSpark down today from its high again? Let's just look at this one more time. 55%. 55%. And my target for this company is stupid. I actually think we can get over 100. I think we're going to get somewhere between like 76 and 160. So yeah, I think it can 3x Bitcoin's returns. And here's the thing. Before we had this big collapse, the end of last year, when the crypto markets were really booming, before we had this big collapse, it was up 5 to 6x the underlying asset. Even right now, let me fix this. Even right now, looking back, if you invested at the tippity top or tippity bottom for CleanSpark, you're up 540%. But if at the top sold, you were up 1,300%. 1,300% if you sold up here. So again, Bitcoin wasn't up 1,300%, right? It wasn't up 1,300%. It didn't go from $1.75 to $25, right? Like it didn't see that kind of return. It got a fraction of that return. So it's one of those things where, yes, you can really outperform with these miners. Personally, if I was you, I didn't have a lot of money, especially if I'm younger. If I'm younger, I'm 40, 46. I'm pretty fucking old, but if I'm going to be 47 soon, but if I was younger, I would totally think about doing something like that because now is your time to take risk. Work some fucking extra hours. Bust your ass, man. Do your shit to build up your wealth. And take some risk. If you're young, fuck yeah, I would do that. All right. Go for it, says Danny Ventura. So, yeah, Maytag, sell on the green candle and get your initial back. This is the way. Yes, exactly. Just limit your risk, right? Take some profits. That way you're good. Needs 55. Hit the like button, folks. Yeah, if you guys could, we got 330, 340 people. If you could hit the like, that'd be great. I've been in 20 years, we are either melded with super intelligent AI and living in the next level of the Matrix, or living in a post-apocalyptic hellscape. It's going to be one or the other. It's going to be fun either way. Well, fun's the wrong word. Interesting. Westman, I've been bankrolling CleanSpark between 15 and 20, so it's not all my money. But yeah, not holding any to any financial advice. Thanks. Patrick Picasso, what's your time frame for CLSK to run to year end? I don't look at year end. I look at peak of cycle. And again, I think it's 9 to 15 months, but the market can do, as you can see, so many fucking crazy things in a short period of time. So I don't know the exact time frame. I think 9 to 15 months is giving you a pretty good ballpark. And it might be like 8 to 14 now. I might have to change that wording a little bit. But yeah, so I care more about that time frame. Year end stuff, I never do that shit with anything. It's like anything can happen between now and the year end. It's more like what do I think the peak is going to be of the cycle. All right. Let me see here. Danny Ventura, 80K in CleanSpark at 1466. You mean you have 80,000 since that level of stock? Or like, what do you mean, Danny? Chickabro, what's your opinion on Meet Kevin take that markets are going to be on a downtrend till the election? I mean, it depends, right? Here's my take. I kind of said it. Whoa, I just got an alert in my ear. Oh, the ETH BTC pair. We're going to have to check that out. Anyway, so I kind of gave you my take. I think if Kamala's doing well in the polls, the market is going down. I think the market's going down. Do miners usually peak before Bitcoin? Yes. Yes. Always. Always. And you know why? Because people like me take the multipliers, like the MicroStrategies, the miners, the shit coins, and they sell them earlier. So they have the most like velocity, and when you reach really over bought conditions, you sell those more aggressively. And then if you think that you're still going up, you'd like buy Bitcoin, right? That's maybe where you switch into an ETF, buy physical Bitcoin, do both. But yes, you need to pay attention because miners will top earlier. Shitcoins usually top earlier. Sometimes after. In 2017, the shitcoins, some of them, everybody thought Bitcoin was dead and shitcoins were the future. So that was a little bit different. So you kind of have to play it as it is. But yes, I would say for the most part, people dial out of risk earlier, right? Like the multipliers. Appreciate you. You're welcome. Oh my God, the YouTube app gave me a Kamala ad. Why? Dude, you should try and look. You know what's funny? So I in this political thing earlier, I put in tags because you have to do that for descriptions, right? So I put in Donald Trump, I put in Kamala, I put in Waltz. It was funny because the term Kamala was way down in the fucking list and had very few mentions. So YouTube in their own algorithm was like, nobody gives a fuck about Kamala, but was huge for Trump. And then again, everything I see, if I look up stuff on YouTube, if I look up Trump, if I try and look up negative things about Kamala, all I find is good stuff about Kamala, which is funny. You got to be very specific with your wording if you want to find anything bad. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that you're seeing ads. This is one of they love the liberal platforms, right? YouTube, Google, they love that shit. It's their biggest financial contributor in the last election, Google. So you know they like that. Patrick Crasso, appreciate you. Justin, do miners usually? Yep, okay. MB, if we drop further this week after the action from last week, isn't it likely that we run into a 1987 type of event on Monday? I mean, shit, man. We kind of did on Monday. It wasn't a 20% drop across markets because we have circuit breakers. I guess the other circuit breaker was none of the exchanges working. So maybe we don't have an event like that if none of the exchanges work and we have circuit breakers in place. So I don't know. I don't think the Black Monday was literally like an insane fucking cascade. I don't think that's possible anymore. That's why they built the circuit breakers, and that's why it seems convenient that exchanges all seem to plummet. Maybe it's some Citadel love. They sure like controlling things. All right. Danny Ventura, it's my position in CleanSpark. Cool, man. Alex Garcia, I'm in 60,000 and CleanSpark at 16. Nice. Alex Garcia, good shit, Danny. Danny, thank you, Alex Garcia. I got another 20K and another smaller account altogether, 100. That's a lot. Jesus Coronado, would you do calls on CleanSpark? No, maybe. That's such a great question. It's been so fucking beat up. Maybe that's something I should be doing. Damn you for giving me these ideas. I really don't like the idea of dying into options a lot right now. I wouldn't do anything that's late. So the problem we have, and I guess CleanSpark, you're okay because it's not really. It's January 2026. You can't use that one because the market cycle would have peaked by then. So all you could do is January 2025. 37 doesn't sound crazy. Let's just look here. Let's do some math. We haven't done an options thing in a while. 500 contracts, $85,000. That's not a lot to me, at least. So that's probably a good number. Let's put in my target of 160 for my high. That's the very. Oh wait, something got weird. Let me fix this. 1 second. And so again, July 2025. That's the farthest out I would go. I haven't looked at like open interest or any of that stuff, so I don't even know if this is the best contract. It's just an example, okay? Let's actually we'll do 207 because it looks like that probably blends in a little bit better. Let's do the 207 contract. Let me put in like a decent chunk of these. I still think options are probably overpriced. I think too many people are probably playing them. So, but let's see if I'm right about that. So right now we are at $11 on CleanSpark. Holy shit. Fuck, it's almost getting into a good deal. Because I think my minimum target for the high is going to be around 70. And 1,600% returns off of 500% is not bad. Fuck you. Now you got me interested. I don't know if I'll do it yet. But man, if we have a bloody week and if I start to do well on anything, like let's say PayPal, my thesis about PayPal does well, I might have some fun. I might do a little bit of this. I might have to look at these other miners. Because here's the deal. If I'm putting in, let's just say in this one, let's say this. Let's say we put in this amount of money, right? This is nothing for me. In CleanSpark right now, in my main account, let me see what I have. And just my main account, I have more accounts with more money in CleanSpark. But in my main, I have. Fuck, you got me excited. I'm probably going to make a separate video about this, and I'm going to look at all miners to see where the opportunity is. But CleanSpark right now, I have $230,000 just in my main account. So let's say I put 41 into calls. Maybe I transfer some of that over into it. And let's say that, let's be really realistic here with CleanSpark. Let's say 75 is the absolute top, right? Let's not say 160. Let's get more conservative, right? So if you think Bitcoin can more than double where it's at, if you think it can get to the 150 range, right? Which is roughly, what is that? A 200% return from where we're at? Let me just click here. Yeah, about a 200% return, a little bit less. Let's say 175% return. If you think that can happen, right? That you think just that, like a 200% return in Bitcoin, this thing can easily be a 3x multiplier to that, which gets us up here. And so with $40,000, I could earn 816. So, fuck, you got me excited. I'm probably going to do this. I'm going to devote a lot of time in the next 24 hours to looking at miners and figuring out, yeah, yeah. I need to go through the list of them. I need to look at Sebastian Ski's work. He's great. His Patreon is wonderful. I need to see what he's talking about in there, and I need to see, because if we continue to drop in Bitcoin, and I think we could, this could get fun. This could get fun. Yeah, wow. I might even have to think about a small trade, maybe like 30 grand tomorrow. I might do that. I might do this trade right here. I think I'm going to do this in CleanSpark. I need to figure out what contracts are good. I'll let you guys know, and I'll probably look at a couple of different miners too, and try and broadcast some of that. I'll probably do a members only video because fuck everybody else. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll try and come up with some trades that I'm looking at in some different contracts. You guys, though, don't just look at what I'm doing, and look before the market opens, or around the time that I advertise this, and see what I got it at and what you're looking at, and make sure it's a good deal, or look for other contracts. If you've not watched my Options 101 video, do that. I show you how to look for the open interest in other contracts to where if I drive up the price on CleanSpark tomorrow, you don't jump into it when it's up 20% on a day from some irregularity like me purchasing a decent chunk, okay? So watch my fucking video on Options 101, but I am really, really liking the idea of this. Who said that? Who said that? Who is it? I don't do calls on miners. Now, yes. I have said that religiously, right? I've said that religiously, and you know why I said that? Because the return was nothing for the miners, right? And I would have been saying that over here because I'd sold mine, okay? After making shit tons of money. I owned calls for a CleanSpark in the dollar range, okay? So I sold a decent amount of that early. I only made 700% in 2023 because I was conservative. But right now, bro, right now, this is interesting. Yes, definitely, Eric, yes, only members only. I will talk. I'll try and do something. I'll do it early tomorrow morning. I'll try and look at different contracts that I'm looking at and shoot something out to you guys. I might not give it to you immediately because I want to be able to get my own in so that you guys aren't front running me, because there's still 1,000 people right now that are members. Okay. So I might do me first. Okay. But I do love this idea, and I'll probably try and look at a few different miners. If you guys have miners that you want me to look at in this members only video, please throw them out here. Tell me what you want. Looks like CleanSpark, Bitfarms. I don't love Bitfarms. I'll look at it. And I'll try and look at Sebastian Ski's work and see if I can get caught up and acclimated to all these. I'll probably also look, MicroStrategy. I'll probably look at that and see what that looks like too. Maybe that's an option. I had options. I had options on MicroStrategy, Mara, and CleanSpark. And I had those when they were fucking nothing, dude. I'll look at Iron. Fuck it. Why not? Cypher for sure. So I'll look at all these and I'll try and do like a comparison in the video and then show you roughly what they're doing. Nunya, thank you for joining. But I'll try and look at them and give you options. And again, I'm going to link at the look in my feed and type in options. You will see Options 101. Watch that video. If you don't watch that video, I doubt you understand options. Even if you're experienced, even if you're a trader, I doubt you really do. A lot of people don't. And you need to understand extrinsic and intrinsic value really well. That's why I've been telling people don't fucking own options and Bitcoin miners. You will get fucked. But you buy them when Bitcoin, after the halving, has done nothing but going sideways for 5 months. You buy them when the stocks that you're looking at are down 50 to 70% from their highs over that same period of time. That's when you do it, man. Does the MicroStrategy stock split affect options? No, it should all balance out. When is the stock split finally going through, though? I don't remember off the top of my head. Rob, thank you for joining, dude. Does anybody know what the date on the stock split? If you know that, please throw it in the chat. Whoever fucking brought this up, who brought this up? Who brought this up? Who brought up this conversation? Tomorrow. Okay, that's great. So that's probably a thing where you let that sit, and then the next day you look at MicroStrategy options. And maybe I'll do 2 videos over the course of a couple of days, and then I'll focus on those. But Jesus, thank you for bringing that up. I have been so in the phase of stay the fuck away from options in the crypto world that I haven't looked at them in ages. But it's actually exciting to me right now. And again, there's risk in this. Watch my options 101 video. Andrea, thank you for joining, man. Thank Alex Garcia. Yeah, you too. Whoever. Yeah, yeah. Whoever's bringing this up, thank you very much. I think this is very interesting, and I actually am really now getting excited and hoping that the markets continue to drop in the days ahead. I really do. I want to see CleanSpark go down more. Yeah, big risk, big reward, right? So here's the interesting thing here. Again, so let's look at CleanSpark. Let's look at CleanSpark, okay? Let's pull up the one we were just talking about. Let's just focus on this for now, since we're not doing a video, standalone video. Let's just focus on it, okay? So we've had this massive precipitous drop where we went from 18 to 11. That's happened over the course of a little over a week, okay? A little over a week. Think about that. People in options have just been royally fucked. Fucked in the most extreme way, especially if they had short-dated bullshit, right? And I'm telling you that I think the cycle lasts for another 8 to 14 months. And we have an options contract that we can get that's about 9 months from now. Prime time for what we're looking at. For me to take what is roughly maybe like 15% of my investment in CleanSpark right now, like maybe 12 or 13, it might be somewhere around there, and put it into this, only $41,000, that isn't dick to me, and have the opportunity of hitting this high and making, I don't know, $800,000, 2,000% off of a 500% move, or even if it doesn't go that high. Let's say we just get to like 40, which is stupid, and I think it would do way better than that. But let's say that that's what happens between now and like February, March. Let's say April of next year. If I make 215,000 off of 40 grand, I'm happy. I'm happy. So these are the kind of trades I like. I want asymmetric bets. I want to know that if something's up 458%, that I'm making more than that. This is an almost 3x return. That's kind of my normal threshold. That's why I'm telling you, I hope we go down a little bit more. I would like to see these contracts bleed out more. Plus, this contract I just randomly grabbed. This is the 207. That might not even be the highest volume contract. Let's look at 37 and go here. Let's do this contract. So now we're paying about the same, 42,500. We're saying 76 is still the top, and this one could be the higher, more liquid contract, right? Well, we're looking at 2,200% returns off of 584. We're looking at 1,169% returns off of 386. That's kind of my 3x multiplier threshold that I like as a bare minimum to step into the options play, because I want the reward to be much greater than my risk. That way, if I fuck it up and it goes to zero, oh well, it was only 15% of my money in CleanSpark, doesn't fucking matter. But if it does well, then it's like buying the dip. It's like I bought the dip because I took something that might only go up 400%, and I gave it 1,200% in potential, right? A 3x multiplier. So it's kind of like buying the dip. This is the way I do options. I only do them in super oversold conditions where the trend over the next 9 to 12 or 9 to 24 months is good. And this one, I only have 11 months for this to play out. So I want it to be great. So again, this is a great opportunity. If we get just a massive pump, let's say between now and like March, or between now and May, and you could even get 471% off of 260% move in CleanSpark, that means that Bitcoin didn't even come close to doubling, right? Bitcoin is probably sitting at 100K. That could happen here. Okay? So anyway, this is the stuff I like to do, guys. I don't recommend it all the time. There's a reason I've been telling you guys for a year to stay the fuck out of options with crypto. Okay? But now, maybe it's different. Open interest looks not great for the 35 strike for the yeah. See, that's the important thing to look at. Maytag's doing it right. You wanna make sure that you have high volumes. For people that don't know, you'll see this in my video too. But this is what you need to do. There's a few places to do this, right? But we're gonna do this Nasdaq thing, this Nasdaq exchange site thingamajigger, and we're gonna look here for the company. We're gonna type in the ticker, and I show this in my video, but I'll just show it to you right now. Oh, where is it? Market activity. It's in one of the. You know what? Fuck this. I'll just Google it up here. Nasdaq options chain. And again, you don't want to do this all the time. You don't. Options should be not your daily thing at all, at all, at all. But now, when we're looking at this options chain, I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to adjust it to July. I don't want, or from August 2024, I want July 2025, right? That's the thing that looks interesting. I'm going to change near money to all monies because I want to see everything. You get a greater return if it's out of the money, but you also have greater theta decay. So it really needs to have a multiple to the upside. It really needs to be something that can move up. And CleanSpark is that horse. It's the second largest hash rate of any company. Cypher maybe is too. Maybe Iron, maybe Bitfarms. Maybe some of these are looking pretty good. But if you look here, we're looking at volume and open interest on contracts, right? So we can see open interest on the 37s was a lot better. So that was the better play, which is great because it's got a better return. So you want to look at volume and interest. Open interest, though, is your best indicator of what's coming in the future. And then volume is like the secondary. But when you're way out of the money, you might not see that. But you could even like look at volumes here. You could look at volumes here, things that are closer to in the money. I think 25 is an easy fucking target. It'd be hard to lose money on this one, in my opinion, over the next 11 months. But again, this is how you look at contracts. You want to make sure there's high amounts of open interest in them. And you want to see some volume in that contract. So anyway, but I'm very excited, very excited. Oh, I love this shit. See, this is great. This is great. I'm one person. I am one person. I cannot keep track of everything all the time, but because of you guys who pay me to talk to me, you just gave me an idea of something that I wasn't really focused on at all. So, I owe you and I appreciate you. Hood up 1.4 or 1.4% in after hours. Don't know why. But, yeah, this is fucking exciting. You guys got me going, man. I almost want to end the stream so I can do this other one. So I can do some research. And I might call this short today, actually, guys. I will. Yeah, I probably will. Do you guys have any stocks that I must look at? I'm really interested about this whole crypto Bitcoin miner thing, and I want to focus energy on it. So that's what I have. June 2025 calls. Is that what it is? Is it June or July? Yeah, but you bought them. The problem is, I don't know how long you've hold them, chicken bro, but the problem is you probably bought them when the price for CleanSpark was very high and the multiplier had ran 5 to 6x and people were up 1,300% in a year-ish. And so that's like the worst time to buy them. July, okay. It's like the worst time to buy them. So if you got really screwed and it's down a lot, that's why. I always repeat to myself, 90% of calls. Yeah, dude, it's like 90, at least 90%. At least 90% of calls expire worthless. So you got to be right. You got to know that Bitcoin is going up in the next 9 months. My confidence level for that is fucking insane. I don't know what yours is, okay? I have done due diligence on CleanSpark along with a bunch of other people, and I think it's a really great company, and they performed really well for a long time. I have high confidence in that. If I think Bitcoin can at least double, then I know I've got a 3 to 4x multiplier. And so I know my returns are going to be somewhere between the potential of like, I don't know, 650% to 1,200%, 1,300%. So that's my confidence level. And I'm not betting the farm. Again, I'm talking about 15% of my already allocated position towards CleanSpark. All I'm doing is saying, I think this is a safe bet. I feel like it's kind of like buying the dip because I can give myself a 3x multiplier on what I would have gotten in returns for my existing stock that I own for CleanSpark. But I'm only taking 15% of it, and I'm giving it a 3x multiplier to those returns. So it's like buying the dip. I'm going to help my upside potential if I'm right and make a bunch of money. But yes, no options. They will fucking destroy you. I've seen it happen to many a good man. And so know them, understand them, start small. Use it as a dip buying. If you don't have a lot of capital in the markets, this might be a way to leverage some of that. Yeah. Let me see. I'll take a look here. 2 months ago, I'm down. 2 months ago, that sucks. 2 months ago is a long fucking time, bro. Especially when you're looking at CleanSpark over here 2 months ago in like the 20s, and it's lost 45% of its value. Yes, that will fuck you, dude. That will fuck you big time. But where we are right now, let's say we got to $7. Woof. I'm going balls deep. That's like 50% of my CleanSpark allocation that would be in options at $7 or $8. I would be balls deep in that shit because the money printer, my confidence level and the fact that the money printer has to go burr dramatically, no matter who is in power, is huge. Yeah, 70% is a long time. So yeah, if you're able to, if you can dedicate resources you can afford to lose to be able to buy that dip, then you can flip it around. Iron is down a lot. You can check that. I should. Yeah, let me see. Iron did really well with the AI play, right? Was that Iron? I think a few of them did. Bitfarms, Iron, a few of those were really big into the AI play, and they've just been fucked. As AI gets fucked, yes, down 14.65%. So as AI gets fucked, right? As AI gets fucked, this gets fucked even more because Bitcoin's getting screwed and AI is getting screwed. So, and I don't love the AI play, but maybe I'll have a little bit of fun with it. So, down 57% from its high recently, and it was down 62% the other day. So, this thing has been butchered. But let's look at where it was. It was like CleanSpark, up 1,400% from its low in January of 2023. So, if you were in this in January 2023, at the peak, you were up 1,400%, 15x. Pretty sweet. Bitfarms isn't an AI play, aren't they though? Aren't they doing like that? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. Aren't they? No. I'm thinking of Hut. You're right. Thanks, Danny. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Sealess, Burr, sad but true for now, but we must change our policy habits. Would you sell CleanSpark stock that is... Yes, I would. And that's what I'm talking about because I wouldn't sell all of it. I'm only talking about allocating 15% of my CleanSpark position to this, and I might do the same thing with Mara. I might do the same thing with Cypher. But yes, I would do that because if it's down 25%, but the thing I'm investing into, if Bitcoin just doubles, like it's to 100,000, can give me 3x that return of the double, that's 600%. If it can give me 4x, that's even more, right? It's almost 1,000%. So yes, I will sell something down and dial into a multiplier that gives me greater upside potential because it's like buying the dip when you have no capital. And I've used my capital like an idiot. So, I mean, I haven't sold anything, so I have no doubt I'm really going to do good in the future. This is kind of how I roll. But I very much believe in the probabilities of Bitcoin doing really well over the next 8 to 14 months. And the money printer going burr, and there being a reason for the money printer to go burr and for people to adopt Bitcoin. So I feel very confidently about that. And if it fucks me, it fucks me. It's 15% of my allocation, right? So I don't care. But it is a way for me to buy the dip, and I like buying dips, man. I like to be able to capitalize off dips. I hate missing them. This is my way of not missing it. Just don't be too aggressive. That's the thing. Start slow is my advice, always. Sealess, Burr, sad, but true for now. We must change our... Okay, Walter Bryan. Do you think that BTC will likely start breaking a new all-time high into 100K starting? I think it'll happen before the end of the year. But yeah, next year for sure. Danny Ventura, according to the CEO, Ben Gagnon. Christian Soto, BITF is not an AI yet. Their numbers looking good, though, with the new CEO. Okay, well, the new CEO hopefully is helping things. I didn't like it. It was a Canadian company. The other CEO, I didn't feel like was headed in the right direction. I have not focused on them since. So maybe there's an opportunity there. I probably personally won't jump into it. I will research these others, but I'll focus mostly on my Cypher, CleanSpark, and Mara because I feel most confident about those positions. And I might only do this with like Well, it just depends on what the options look like. Um, let's see here. They BITF are looking into it in the near future. Oh, they're looking into AI. Is that what you're saying, Danny? Be humble, be great. Jesse, you gave me your Tesla referral program for FSD. Been here since the beginning when you had 3,000 followers on X. I really appreciate you, man. Dude, that's awesome, man. 3,000 seems a long time ago. I think that was like April of last year or some shit. So you've been around. You've been around for over a year, dude. That's cool. Thanks, man. Jesus Coronado, January 2026, open interest 69.50, strike 20. Yeah, that's probably a safer play because you're going to be a lot closer to in the money. The returns will probably be a little less, but you'll have a safer play. You'll be closer to in the money, and it's got a high amount of volume in it. So when you're looking to exit, it's nice to have that high level of open interest because it gives you exit liquidity when you want to get out before everybody else, right? So not a bad idea, Jesus. Again, you guys use these tools and figure shit out on your own. You can do it. You're capable of it. But I'll try and give you something by tomorrow morning too that gives you a good indication of at least my research into these three and maybe a couple of extras like Iron or Bitfarms, just a few of the others that people like to touch. Kevin, thank you for joining, man. Thank you all. Thank you, RJ, for giving out a bunch of memberships, and thank you for the other people that signed up. For charts, can you discuss IWM and one that I've been watching a while is McKesson, but never anyone talks about them. Jesse, can you please look at these others, guys? I will do that. But here's the deal. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna start doing these streams. I feel like right now is the time to really be in here facing you guys and answering your questions and helping you in whatever way I possibly can, if I can. So I'm going to be doing this stuff daily, Monday through Friday. The market recap is here. I will go over those in tomorrow's. Right now, though, I want to focus on miners, and I want to focus on looking at these options contracts. Thank you, Kevin, for joining, man. That's awesome. But I want to focus on those because I want to get that video out to you guys tomorrow morning at some point, maybe after I bought mine. And again, once I do that, I will show you what I bought mine for. Don't jump into it if it's much fucking higher, okay? Look at other contracts. Maybe I could, I don't, they're going to be in the video. So jot those down, like the contracts that I'm looking at that have nice amount of open interest. I'll probably try and look at a few different ones, and I'll try and tell you, show the returns, what each of them can do for a few different Bitcoin miners. That's the goal. So try and find the best opportunity yourself. Use this calculator, guys. This calculator is great. It's not always perfect over short periods of time. And if you didn't get a contract that had a high open interest and volume, it won't play out the way you want it to because you don't have the volumes to get the fuck out. Breaking news, man arrested for alleged plot to assassinate Trump. Is that the Pakistani guy or is that a new one? It's hard to keep up. BT, sup Jesse, damn corporate plantation made me late for the recap. No worries, bro. Got to get off that plantation. All right. So again, that's the goal. So I'm not going to focus on other stocks right now, guys. I'm probably going to bail right now. I'm very excited about this. Looking at the miners, that's my focus, and I will let you guys know it will be members only. Fuck everybody else. I'm here for the community, and I want to lessen the number of people that are jumping in this anyway. I tried that shit with X, and what I found was all the people that are really loyal and support me, when I would post something on X, everybody would fucking jump into it. The price would get driven up. I'd literally have to type, please pay attention. This is up 50% today already. You guys that are buying this are getting fucked. And I just couldn't control it, and I don't even know who was buying. And then people that were probably helping me out and paying for memberships weren't even benefiting from that shit. And I don't want to live that world. I want the people that support me to be supported by me. So that's what we're doing. Dylan, thanks, Jesse. Westman, thanks for all you do, and everyone else here. Avatar Kale QQ. How to check the members video. Have you already? Yes, I have done some. I've done a couple of members videos, and you will see it. It'll be, turn your notifications on, guys. Like this stuff, but turn your notifications on for videos. That way you get notified right away when I do one. I will too voice on X. Follow me there too and have that turned on. I will say I created a members only video talking about Bitcoin miners. Here it is. And the people that aren't members won't be able to fucking watch it. So there'll probably be a rush of people trying to sign up. So you guys will still be early. But again, just be smart with it. Look at the numbers. Use the calculator, optionsprofitcalculator.com. Watch my Options 101 video. It's really good. I'm not just trying to pimp it. Sorry, I had to say that since Tim Plimpton just joined. Thank you, sir. I'm not trying to pimp my video. It's really good, I think, and it can save you a lot of frustration and pain and suffering. So understand this stuff. Understand how to do this yourself, and just start small. Start small. Understand it. Spend a year doing this. I don't give a fuck. You can always apply yourself more in the future. Just don't destroy yourself, okay? Tesla and CLSK for the future. Yeah, dude. I don't think that's a bad play at all. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you very much for being a part of this. I'm super fucking excited. And so, today, going out today, we are definitely doing Buy That Fucking Dip because I'm excited. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to do all-time high. It's not even close to all-time high, but we're planning for it. So that's what we're going out with. I love you guys. Thanks, JT, for joining. I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully get that members video out pretty early in the day, so that we can talk about this stuff. And then I'll see you guys in the market recap if nothing else. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Peace.
Well. You know what time it is.
This is what's coming, guys, over the next 8 to 14 months. So let's soak that shit up.
Woo. We back, baby. Bitcoins, shitcoins, or NFTs. There's no greater feeling than hitting that sweet.
Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump to the sky. We just buy and get rich. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump, baby. We just buy and get rich. Get right back. We back in the black. We back in the green. Got the team all around me. We rowdy and causing scenes. Where you been? Grab a cup, baby. Come and take a sip. Oh my bad, yo, what's up? Man, you didn't buy the dip. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's tough. Oh, that's really gotta suck. Only problem that we got is that we didn't buy enough. Man, I joke. Man, I kid. Know exactly what we did. Now we pull up in the whip. Cause we just hit. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump to the sky. We just buy and get rich. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump, baby. We just buy and get rich. Got my family on the phone, they asking what they should buy. I say a time machine to take you back to when I was trying to get you buying on the low. Instead you trying to buy high. I guess it's time for me to sell this shit and wave it goodbye. Like sayonara, I don't wanna be stuck there with the bag. Don't be mad, I'm just saying I'm taking some of the cash that we stacked up, baby, cause we out of here. As we blast up straight into the stratosphere. Right through the old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump to the sky. We just buy and get rich. Old time high in this bitch. Watch it pump, baby. We just buy and get rich.